Today I have another one for the Trash or Treasure series. I picked this up off Craigslist yesterday, and it's getting to that time of year, so this may come into use. Looking at this offhand, it was nearby, so I went to get it. The first thing is that the starter, I don't know if this works or not, because it's loose, so we couldn't try it out. Wheels are good on both sides. I was told that the auger isn't working, and the owner did start it for me and it was running, but on his last pull, as it started up, the pull cord broke. So that's one repair that has to be done off the bat. But I do know that it runs. Like I mentioned, the wheels are good. The auger wasn't working right, he said, and when you put it in drive, it couldn't come up the ramps. I had to push it up the ramps. So it might have a bad disc on the inside, and I won't know until I get in there to see what's going on. So what's next is to go get the tools. I'm going to work on it right here on the trailer. It's a nice work table. It's just the right height for me. I'm going to remove the gas. Get up here. I'm going to take this gas out. It did start with this gas, but I like to take it out anyway, see what's in this tank. See the oil situation. This machine's about 20 years old, I was told, and for its age and being the use that it gets up in this area, it's not in bad shape. Well, there's plenty of oil, a little dirty, but plenty of oil. This plug looks like it's been in there a while, but again, it did start. That was the good news. Usually when I pick these up, they're not running, but this one runs. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a bucket to remove this gas. I'm going to get my tools, work on this recoil, then I'll flip it over to see what it looks like underneath, and then I'll see where we go from there. Depending on what I find, we'll see what I'm going to do. To get started, you need a 10mm socket to take these nuts off. Once you have the housing off, you want to check, make sure that the two dogs come out, that they're still there. Sometimes they break off. And you also want to check to see if the spring works. Just turn it a few times. Okay, this is working. You have to get out the remaining string that's in here. Let's see how we're going to do this one. In this case, it was only this that broke off. Kind of odd that it broke off like this. I don't have any new cord for this. This feels pretty stiff, and I think it's a little on the thin side, but this is an older machine. The newer ones, I believe, the number of the cord is 5.5, and you need approximately 5 feet of this cord. I would go 5 feet and a couple inches, leave room for the knot. You can cut the excess off. Now, what I'm going to do over here, where the cord comes in, right about here, I'm going to heat up an old screwdriver, and I'm going to burn a notch into it right here, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm going to use the same cord because I don't have this particular one in stock right now, and I will be ordering more because it is October, and I'll probably be getting a few of these coming in. If you like, I'll have an Amazon link down below where you could go to it. And what I'm going to do now is melt the tip of this cord, make it a little bit of a point so I could get it into here. Now if you look under here, there's a hole right under my thumb. You want to line that hole up where the cord goes in. You want to make a notch right above that hole or to the side, either way. But for this, I'm going to go right above the hole where the cord has to come through. Just using a torch, heating up a screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, to burn that notch. And you'll see why we need the notch in a minute. And my torch just went out. All right. Now we have the notch right above the hole where the cord has to come in. The cord, I melted, made a point on it, and the cord we're going to put in through the top and come out through there, and we'll knot it there. I need 2 hands for this, so I have to put the camera down. Once you have the cord through the bottom, you want to knot it. You want to get this knot good and tight, make sure it doesn't slip out. Pull it back out this way. Have it tucked in. Now with a pick, a needle nose plier, even a paper clip, we want to get this cord through the notch. Again, I have to put this camera down. I need 2 hands. Once you snag it, you want to pull it up. See, it's in that notch now. Get over here. Trying to get some better lighting with the camera. Okay, this looks better. You can see that it's coming up through that notch. Get it back to its original spot. Again, this cord should be about 5 feet. Once you have it in this position, you want to wind it now. This is not necessary. I want to show you a way you can replace this cord without melting these grooves in here. And I have Johnny, my cameraman, just came out. He's going to help me. Johnny, could you hold that camera right on here?
Yep.
All right. Okay, now what we're going to do, for 5 feet of cord, approximately 5 turns on this. We're going to use this marker here and start counting that, and we're going to start counting. Bring it up to where it's got to go. It's where the cord's going to come in. So we have, it's 1, 2, 3. Was that 2 or 3?
3.
3. You sure?
Yes.
4. And here comes 5. Put a screwdriver in there to hold it so it doesn't move while we're fiddling with the cord. We get the cord in here. And we got to get it through that hole underneath. Now with your needle nose pliers, I'm going to pull this cord through. Line it up a little better. Don't move, Johnny, I'll move. Okay, there we go. Tie a knot. Could be just a single knot, but you want to make sure it's tight. I'm going to use a pair of pliers to pull on this. As you're using it, it gets tighter, but you want to make sure it doesn't slip out. That's tight. Pull it back in there. Make sure it's tucked in, not interfering with anything. Pull the screwdriver out and let this wind in slow. Hold it just like that. If you get it right, your handle should be coming up. If your handle's hanging, you'll have to turn it one more time. You could go a little looser with this or a little tighter. You don't want to make it too tight, because when you pull that cord, you can snap the spring on the inside. You don't want to let this go. I'm going to put a couple of drops of oil in here, and then we'll remount it. All right, I have it mounted back on. Not only did I put a couple of drops of oil on the recoil, on these studs coming out, I didn't use anti-seize because it's not all that bad over here, but I did put a couple of drops of oil on it again. There was a little bit of rust on it. I cleaned up, and you never know, this might have to be changed sometime in the near future. I'm going to crank it up, see if it starts, or at the very least that this is working okay. Okay, John, grab the camera.
Okay.
All
The
right.
shoe's in it, Grandpa.
You got it?
Yep.
All
Go.
right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see, what we got here? Everything looking good here? Guess what, Johnny? I
What?
forgot to prime it.
Oh.
The primer works. You hear it sucking? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it slipped right out of my hand. The recoil works, it started it up, everything's good on this end. Now to get to the rest of this machine. I took this gas tank off to get the gas out and to clean the tank out. Wasn't sure if there was anything in there. And also, to see what the situation was with the starter. He said he thought a screw was missing. Well, a screw isn't missing here. What we have here is the tabs where the screw goes in, or the bolts go in, completely broken out. I never saw that before. This is a new one for me. So let's see. There's one bolt on the bottom that's holding this in. So the two tabs on top are broken off. Don't know how that happened, but I'm gonna get that off, see if the starter works. If the starter works, I'm going to see what I could do. I don't know if this plate comes off on the back or if I could fabricate a piece and just weld it to the back of it and see if we can make it work that way. Because these splines have to line up with the flywheel. That's not for today. Today I want to flip it over, take this pan off and see what's keeping these wheels from turning. They do turn when you put it in gear, but slightly. So I'm just going to get the starter off, the tank back on, just to keep it together, and I'll be back for this. Get this bottom plate off. There's 6 bolts, very easy to get to. They require a 10mm socket or wrench, and off it comes. Okay, this is just what I expected. It works like this. When the engine's running, the belt turns this pulley. This pulley's turning. When you engage it, this rubber wheel touches this disc. Now you can see the different locations. As you change gears with this disc goes from one side to the other. And it'll go either faster, and if you go all the way over to the other side, it'll be in reverse. It's either going to be turning this way, or it's going to be turning this way. So this rubber has to be replaced. Now, if I recall, you could buy this whole piece or you could buy just this rubber piece here. I'm going to go online. I'm going to see what I find, and I'll put the link for it down below. By the way, the Amazon links that I have, if you buy anything through those links, I really appreciate it. It's no additional cost to you, but it does provide a little commission, and it helps me with this channel. And even if you're not buying this, if you go through my link and buy anything else off that link, it'll help out. The way it works is when you hit my link, anything you buy at that time, it'll track back to my channel. If you get offline and go back on through another site or just through your own link, it won't track back to me. It's not required and not necessary, but it is appreciated. Anyway, back to this. I'm going to order this piece, and while I'm in here, I'm going to grease this up. Look how dry this is. Now, I've seen these where this bar right here is completely corroded, and this won't slide back and forth where this jams up. So if your gear lever won't go back and forth, it's a good chance that this bar rusted up or it's completely dry. And this will be a different video altogether when I get to this, because to get this off, we got to get the wheel off, and it's a little bit of a procedure on that. Not too complicated, but it does take time, and I won't be able to do this until I get the piece in. And once I do, I will follow up with taking this apart, get the new piece in. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a like, pass it along, and if you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell not to miss my new videos as I upload them. And as always, stay safe.